Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time we are looking at 500 time-tested home remedies and the science behind them. And you know what we've got? We actually have a PDF link for you guys down in that description box.
Oh,
So check that out. Follow along with us.
yeah?
You can try a few of these at home. And really, it's amazing how much wisdom is there
Yeah.
in these traditional healing practices.
Mm.
And this book does a really good job of just blending that with modern science.
That's right. I mean, it's not just like your grandma's old cures anymore. This is about understanding why those cures actually work. And what I find particularly interesting is the book's emphasis on, these 6 pillars of vibrant health. It's like a holistic framework for well-being that goes beyond just treating individual symptoms.
Okay, so let's break those pillars down. We've got whole foods, regular exercise, stress management, sufficient sleep, meaningful social connections, and spiritual well-being. Seems pretty straightforward, right?
Right.
But the book makes this point, that despite all of our modern advancements, these chronic illnesses, a lot of which are preventable, are actually on the rise. That's kind of a paradox, isn't it?
It is, and it makes you wonder if we've lost sight of those basic foundations of health. In our pursuit of convenience and quick fixes, I think the book argues that this information overload from technology and our busy modern lifestyles, it might be pulling us away from these fundamental pillars.
So how does the book suggest we get back to those basics? I'm guessing food plays a pretty big role.
Absolutely. Food plays a huge role. The book dives deep into this idea of food as medicine, and it puts a strong emphasis on the power of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents. And, you might be thinking, what exactly are antioxidants, and why should I care? Well, simply put, antioxidants, they help protect our cells from damage caused by free radicals. Think of it like rust forming on a car. Free radicals can cause similar damage in our bodies, leading to aging and various diseases.
So antioxidants are like little rust protectors for our cells. I can get behind that. But what about inflammation? We hear that word a lot.
Right.
What does it actually mean in terms of our health?
That's a good question. Inflammation is basically our body's natural response to injury or infection. It's a good thing when it's short-term, helping us heal, fight off invaders. But when inflammation becomes chronic, it can actually start damaging our tissues and organs. Think of it like a fire alarm that keeps going off even after the fire's out.
Okay, so chronic inflammation is basically our body's alarm system
Yeah.
going haywire and causing more harm than good.
And the book is saying that food choices can help us either fight or fuel that inflammation.
Exactly.
But
The book highlights how a diet rich in processed foods,
Yeah.
sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats can actually contribute to inflammation. On the other hand, a diet packed with fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats can help reduce inflammation and protect us from chronic diseases.
So it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff, it's also about actively incorporating those good foods that can actually benefit our health. It's like giving our bodies the right tools to fight those internal fires.
That's a great way to put it. And speaking of good foods, the book also debunks some common myths about fats. We've been conditioned to think that all fat is bad. But the truth is we need certain types of fats for our bodies to function properly.
Right, I've heard that. Not all fats are created equal. So how do we know which fats are the good guys and which ones are the villains? Well, the book breaks it down really nicely, explaining the difference between saturated and unsaturated fats. So saturated fats, which are typically found in animal products, and some tropical oils like coconut oil, those are the ones we want to limit. Those fats are solid at room temperature, and they can contribute to high cholesterol levels.
So butter, fatty meats, coconut oil, those are the ones to watch out for. What about unsaturated fats?
Unsaturated fats are the good guys. They're typically liquid at room temperature, and they're found in plant-based oils, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish. These fats can actually help lower bad cholesterol and improve heart health.
Okay, so olive oil, avocado, nuts, salmon, those are our friends. It's starting to make a lot more sense now.
It is, isn't it? And, within the unsaturated fat family, you've got monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. Olive oil is a great example of a monounsaturated fat. While omega-3 fatty acids found in fatty fish like salmon, those are polyunsaturated fats.
Omega-3s. Those are the ones we hear so much about these days. What's so special about them?
They're essential for our health in so many ways. Omega-3s, they play a role in brain development, cognitive function, heart health, and even reducing inflammation.
Wow, so they're like the overachievers of the fat world. But what if you're not a big fan of fish? Are there other ways to get those omega-3s?
Absolutely. The book highlights plant-based sources of omega-3s, like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts, and even includes some delicious recipes that incorporate these
So
ingredients.
even if you're not a seafood lover, you can still reap the benefits of omega-3s. That's good to know.
And speaking of things that aren't so good for us, let's talk about sugar. This is where the book gets really interesting.
Oh, the sugar talk. I have a feeling this isn't going to be sweet.
You're right, it's not. The book paints a pretty stark picture of the dangers of excessive sugar consumption. Did you know that the average American consumes a whopping 22 teaspoons of added sugar per day?
22 teaspoons. That's crazy. No wonder we're seeing an increase in all these chronic diseases.
Exactly, and the book doesn't shy away from explaining that connection between excessive sugar intake and a whole host of health problems. Weight gain, diabetes, heart disease, you name it.
So it's not just about cutting back on desserts. It's about being mindful of those hidden sugars
Yeah.
in processed foods and drinks.
You're right, those sneaky added sugars can really add up.
Okay, so we've covered the importance of choosing the right fats, washing our sugar intake. What other dietary advice does the book offer?
Well, the book also dives into the topic of pesticides and their potential impact on our health. It introduces something called the Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list, which highlights the fruits and vegetables that tend to have the highest pesticide residues.
The Dirty Dozen, I've heard of that. But what exactly are those fruits and veggies? I'm curious.
Well, the list includes strawberries, spinach, kale, nectarines, apples, grapes, peaches, cherries, pears, tomatoes, celery, and potatoes.
Okay, mental note. Organic for the Dirty Dozen. It's good to know which foods to be extra careful about.
Exactly. And speaking of being careful, the book also stresses the importance of knowing what's actually in our food. It encourages readers to become more aware of food labels and to prioritize whole, unprocessed foods whenever possible.
That makes sense. The more we cook from scratch,
Yeah,
the more control we have over the ingredients and the quality of our food.
absolutely. It's all about taking charge of your health and making informed choices about what you put into your body.
Well, I feel like we've already learned so much about the power of food choices and how they can impact our overall health.
We have, and we've only just scratched the surface. But I think this is a good place to pause for now. We'll pick up in part 2 with a deeper dive into those other pillars of health and start exploring some of the fascinating home remedies from the book.
Sounds good to me. I'm already eager to learn more.
Yeah.
And for those of you listening, don't forget to check out that PDF link in the description box so you can follow along with us on this journey of natural healing. Until next time.
Welcome back to our exploration of 500 time-tested home remedies and the science behind them. We've been delving into the book's 6 pillars of health, and now we're ready to move beyond nutrition to the next pillar, exercise.
You know, it's funny how we often treat exercise as optional. Like it's just something we do to look good or lose weight. But the book really drives home the point that movement is essential for our overall health and well-being.
Absolutely. It even goes as far as to call exercise a fountain of youth, emphasizing how inactivity can lead to a whole cascade of negative consequences. Weaker bones, decreased muscle mass, disrupted sleep, mood swings, even difficulty thinking clearly. Our bodies are literally designed to move.
Yeah, it's like our bodies are saying, hey, use it or lose it.
Yeah.
So what kind of movement does the book recommend? Does it have to be intense workouts at the gym?
Sure.
Or are there more accessible ways to incorporate exercise into our daily lives?
That's a great question, and I think a lot of people struggle with that. The good news is the book doesn't prescribe a one-size-fits-all approach. It acknowledges that everyone's fitness level and lifestyle are different, and it encourages finding activities you genuinely enjoy, whether it's dancing, gardening, hiking, swimming, or simply taking brisk walks. Even small changes, like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, can make a big difference over time.
That's reassuring. So it's not about punishing ourselves with grueling workouts. It's about finding ways to move our bodies that feel good and fit into our lives. And speaking of things that can feel good or bad, let's move on to stress management, our next pillar.
Yes, stress, the silent killer. The book reveals that a staggering 1/3 of American adults feel overwhelmed by stress. And it's not just a matter of feeling frazzled. Chronic stress has a very real impact on our physical and mental health.
Okay, I'm officially stressed out now, just hearing that statistic. But seriously, it's easy to dismiss stress as just part of modern life. But the book clearly shows that it's a serious issue that we need to address.
Absolutely. It's not something we can just ignore and hope it goes away. The book delves into the science behind the stress response, explaining how our bodies release hormones like adrenaline and cortisol when we're faced with a perceived threat, Now, this response is meant to be helpful, a sort of survival mechanism that prepares us to fight or flee.
Right, the classic fight or flight response.
Yeah.
But how does that become a problem? Isn't that just a natural reaction to danger?
The problem is, in today's world, we're constantly bombarded with stressors that trigger this response, even if those stressors aren't actually life-threatening. Think about traffic jams, work deadlines, financial worries, social media overload. Our bodies react as if we're facing a saber-toothed tiger.
So our bodies are essentially stuck in overdrive with those stress hormones,
Yeah.
coursing through us on a regular basis. No wonder we're seeing an increase in stress-related illnesses.
Exactly. The book explains how chronic stress can weaken our immune systems, disrupt our sleep, contribute to digestive problems, increase our risk of heart disease, and even accelerate the aging process.
So what's the antidote? How do we break free from this stress cycle? Does the book offer any practical advice?
It does. It presents a variety of stress management techniques, from simple breathing exercises and mindfulness practices to more active approaches, like yoga, tai chi, and spending time in nature.
Okay, those all sound good in theory, but I think a lot of people struggle with actually implementing these techniques. It's easy to say, just meditate, but harder to actually make it a habit.
That's true. And the book acknowledges that. It emphasizes the importance of finding what works for you and making small, sustainable changes over time. Maybe it's starting with 5 minutes of deep breathing each morning or taking a short walk in nature during your lunch break. The key is to find those little pockets of calm and build from there.
So it's about being kind to ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and not expecting to become Zen masters overnight. I can get on board with that. Now, let's talk about the next pillar, social connection, which might seem a little less obvious in terms of its impact on health.
You might be surprised by how powerful social connections actually are. The book emphasizes that strong social ties have been linked to a whole host of benefits, from improved mental and physical health to increased longevity. It's not just about having lots of friends on social media. It's about those meaningful face-to-face interactions that give us a sense of belonging, purpose, and support.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel better
Yeah.
when I spend time with loved ones. Laughing, sharing stories,
Yeah.
just enjoying each other's company. It's like an instant mood booster.
Exactly. And science backs that up. Studies have shown that social isolation and loneliness can actually have negative effects on our immune systems,
Yeah.
increase inflammation, and even increase our risk of chronic diseases.
Wow. So social connection is literally good for our health. I'll have to remember that next time I'm tempted to skip a social gathering.
And speaking of connections, let's not forget about our connection to something bigger than ourselves, that sense of purpose and meaning that the book refers to as spiritual well-being.
This is a really interesting concept. I think a lot of people associate spirituality with religion. But the book seems to be talking about something broader than that.
You're right. It defines spiritual health as a sense of connection to something beyond our individual selves, whether it's nature, art, music, a community, or a higher power. It's about finding what resonates with you and brings a sense of peace, purpose, and meaning to your life.
I love that. It's about finding what nourishes our souls, so to speak.
Exactly. And the book suggests various practices that can help us cultivate this sense of spiritual well-being, including meditation, prayer, contemplation, spending time in nature, and engaging in creative pursuits.
So it's about finding those activities that help us connect with our inner selves and feel a sense of awe and wonder.
That's beautifully put. And now I think we're ready to dive into some of the specific home remedies from the book, starting with those that relate to skin health.
Okay. I'm all ears. I'm always on the lookout for natural ways to take care of my skin.
Me too. And the book doesn't disappoint. It offers a wide range of remedies for various skin conditions, from acne and eczema to wrinkles and age spots.
Let's start with something simple. What does it say about everyday skincare? Any tips for keeping our skin healthy and glowing?
Well, one of the simplest and most effective remedies for cleansing and exfoliating the skin is a yogurt and strawberry face mask. The lactic acid in yogurt gently dissolves dead skin cells, while the enzymes in strawberries help to brighten the complexion.
Sounds delicious and beneficial. So I just slather that on my face?
Pretty much. The book recommends mashing a few strawberries with a tablespoon of plain yogurt, applying it to clean skin, leaving it on for about 10 minutes, and then rinsing it off with warm water.
Okay, that seems easy enough. I'm definitely going to try that. What about those of us who struggle with dry skin? Any natural remedies for that?
Absolutely. The book suggests a simple afterbath moisturizer made with aloe vera gel and a high-quality oil, like olive or coconut oil. Aloe vera is known for its soothing and hydrating properties, while the oil helps to lock in moisture and nourish the skin.
Aloe vera is such a versatile plant. I always have some on hand for burns and sunburns. I'll have to add it to my skincare routine as well.
It's a great all-around healer, and if you're looking for a more intensive treatment for dry, flaky skin, the book recommends an oatmeal bath. Just add a cup of oatmeal to a warm bath and soak for about 20 minutes. Oatmeal is known for its soothing and anti-inflammatory properties, which can help to relieve dryness and irritation.
Oatmeal baths, they're not just for babies anymore. Now, what about those pesky skin irritations like poison ivy? Any natural remedies for that itchy nightmare?
The book has a fascinating remedy using a plant called jewelweed. Apparently jewelweed has natural anti-inflammatory and anti-itch properties that can help soothe the rash caused by poison ivy.
Jewelweed, I've never heard of that before. Where do you even find it?
It's actually a pretty common plant that grows in moist, shady areas, the book suggests. Crushing the leaves and stems of the plant and applying the juice directly to the affected area.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for that next time I'm hiking in the woods.
It's good to have those natural remedies in your back pocket just in case. Now let's move on to some remedies for common ailments, starting with respiratory issues.
Okay, respiratory health is so important, especially these days. What does the book suggest for supporting our lungs?
The book highlights the power of certain foods, like pumpkin, for supporting lung health. You might be thinking, pumpkin, isn't that just for pies? Aw. But it turns out that pumpkin, along with other orange-hued fruits and veggies, like carrots and sweet potatoes, are rich in carotenoids. These compounds act as antioxidants, which can help protect our lungs from damage.
Pumpkin for lung health, who knew? So it's not just about avoiding smoking and pollution, it's also about actively nourishing our lungs with the right foods.
That's right. And for those of you who struggle with athlete's foot, the book recommends a simple saltwater foot soak with thyme and oregano. The salt helps to dry out the affected area, while the herbs have antifungal properties.
Simple yet effective. I like it. What about those annoying fungal nail infections? Any natural solutions for those?
The book has a surprising remedy for that. Vicks Vapor Rub.
Wait, Vicks, the stuff we use for colds. You're kidding, right?
Nope, I'm serious. It turns out that Vicks contains essential oils like thymol from thyme and menthol from peppermint, which have antifungal activity.
Mind blown. I would never have guessed that. What else can Vicks cure?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but it does highlight the fact that sometimes the most common household items can have surprising medicinal properties.
Yeah, I love that. It's like a treasure hunt in our own homes.
Speaking of treasure hunts, let's move on to some remedies for boosting our bones and joints.
Okay, I'm ready. To strengthen my skeleton, what does the book recommend?
If you're looking for a delicious way to support bone health, the book suggests an asparagus and artichoke salad with lemony dressing. Asparagus is a good source of vitamin K, which plays a role in bone health. Artichokes are packed with nutrients, including vitamin C and folate, which are also important for bone strength.
Sounds tasty and nutritious. I love how this book combines good food with good health. What about calcium? Isn't that crucial for strong bones?
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a way to incorporate more calcium into your diet, the book suggests bone-boosting tahini. Tahini is made from sesame seeds, which are a great source of calcium, magnesium, and potassium.
Tahini is so delicious. I love it in hummus and as a dressing for salads.
It's incredibly versatile, and if you're dealing with bruises, the book has a simple yet effective tip. Apply an arnica ice pack. Arnica is a classic remedy for bruises, known for its anti-inflammatory properties. The ice helps to constrict blood vessels and minimize bruising.
Arnica is a must-have for any natural first aid kit. I always have some on hand.
Good thinking. And for burns, the book recommends a honey burn salve. Honey has natural antibacterial and healing properties, making it an excellent choice for soothing burns.
Honey is one of nature's miracles. I use it for everything, from sore throats to sweetening my tea. What else does the book recommend for common ailments?
Well, we could go on, but I think this is a good place to pause for now. We've covered a lot of ground already, and we still have more remedies to explore in part 3.
This is amazing. I'm so glad we decided to do a deep dive into this book. It's like uncovering a treasure trove of natural healing wisdom.
I agree. It's a reminder that we have so much power to take care of our health with simple natural solutions.
So true. And for those of you listening, don't forget to download the PDF of the book from the link in the description box. We'll be back soon with part 3 to explore even more fascinating remedies. Stay tuned. Welcome back to our final deep dive into 500 time-tested home remedies and the science behind them. We've journeyed through the 6 pillars of health and uncovered some truly fascinating natural remedies for common ailments.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We've seen how ancient wisdom and modern science can come together to offer a holistic approach to well-being.
I feel like I've learned so much about how our bodies work and how we can support our health with simple natural solutions. But there are still so many more remedies in this book that we haven't even touched on yet.
That's right, and we've handpicked a few more that I think you'll find particularly intriguing. Let's start with a condition that affects many women, menopause.
Menopause. It's a natural transition, but it can come with some challenging symptoms. Does the book offer any natural remedies for those?
It does. One that stood out to me was a technique for managing hot flashes, using slow, deep breathing. The book explains how this simple practice can help regulate body temperature and reduce the intensity of those sudden heat surges.
Breathing exercises are so powerful. I use them to manage my own stress and anxiety. So it makes sense that they could also help with hot flashes.
Right. It's amazing how something as simple as our breath can have such a profound impact on our bodies. And for those pesky menstrual cramps, the book suggests a soothing, sweet-spiced tea using ingredients like anise seeds, celery seeds, peppermint, and saffron.
Ooh, that sounds delicious and warming. I'm a big fan of herbal teas. What makes this blend so effective for menstrual cramps?
Well, anise and celery seeds, they have antispasmodic properties, which can help relax the muscles of the uterus. Peppermint is known for its soothing and digestive benefits, and saffron has been traditionally used to ease pain and promote relaxation.
It's like a natural cocktail for period relief. What about morning sickness? Another common issue for women, particularly during pregnancy. Does the book offer any remedies for that?
It does. One suggestion is a simple snack of organic peanut butter and apple slices. The combination of protein, healthy fats, and fiber can help keep blood sugar stable, which can be helpful in preventing nausea.
Peanut butter and apples, that's a classic combination. I never knew it could be so beneficial for morning sickness.
And if you're looking for a more soothing remedy, the book also recommends a tea blend using spearmint and chamomile. Both herbs are known for their calming properties, and spearmint in particular has been shown to help reduce nausea and vomiting.
So whether you're dealing with hot flashes, cramps, or morning sickness, there are natural remedies that can help ease those symptoms. This book is like a toolbox for natural healing.
I love that analogy. And speaking of tools, let's move on to some remedies for muscle and joint pain.
Muscle and joint pain can be so debilitating. What does the book suggest for those aches and pains?
Well, for starters, it recommends the classic remedy of icing the affected area. Ice can help reduce inflammation and pain. And the book even provides a helpful tip for applying ice using a frozen paper cup.
I've never heard of that before. How does that work?
You simply freeze a paper cup full of water, then peel away some of the paper at the top to expose the ice. It creates a convenient and mess-free ice pack that you can easily hold and apply to the affected area.
That's brilliant. I'm definitely going to try that. What about more chronic pain like arthritis? Does the book offer any remedies for that?
It does. The book highlights the importance of a diet rich in anti-inflammatory foods for managing arthritis pain. It also recommends certain supplements, like fish oil, which is rich in omega-3 fatty acids that can help reduce inflammation.
Fish oil. That's a popular supplement these days. I've heard good things about it. Any other remedies for those of us who are feeling a bit run down and fatigued?
The book has a variety of suggestions for combating fatigue, including a nutritious pick-me-up snack featuring almonds, dried cranberries, and pumpkin seeds.
That sounds delicious and energizing. What makes those ingredients so effective for boosting energy?
Well, almonds provide protein and healthy fats, cranberries offer a boost of antioxidants, and pumpkin seeds are a good source of magnesium, which plays a role in energy production.
It's like a power pack of nutrients. I'm going to start keeping that snack on hand for those afternoon slumps. Now, I know a lot of people struggle with digestive issues. Does the book offer any natural remedies for those?
Absolutely. For indigestion and bloating, the book recommends a simple fennel digestive. Fennel has been used for centuries to aid digestion and soothe the stomach. You can simply chew on fennel seeds after a meal, or make a tea by steeping fennel seeds in hot water.
Fennel tea. I'll have to give that a try. What about constipation? Any natural solutions for that?
For constipation, the book highlights the importance of fiber, both from food and supplements. It also recommends a simple snack called Apple Delight, made with grated apple raisins, walnuts, and lemon juice.
Apples, raisins, and walnuts. That sounds like a tasty and fiber-rich treat.
It is! And if you're dealing with sinus congestion, The book recommends a saltwater nasal rinse. This simple technique can help clear out the nasal passages and relieve pressure.
I've heard of those. Are they difficult to do?
Not at all. The book provides clear instructions on how to prepare the solution and use a neti pot or a syringe to gently flush out your sinuses.
Okay, I'm definitely going to try that next time I'm feeling stuffy. And speaking of feeling stuffy, what about colds and flu? Does the book offer any natural remedies for those?
It does. One of the most well-known natural remedies for colds and flu is elderberry syrup. Elderberry has been shown to have antiviral activity against influenza and other respiratory viruses.
The elderberry syrup. I've seen that at the health food store. I have to pick some up. What about those pesky cold sores? Any natural solutions for those?
For cold sores, the book recommends a simple baking soda paste. Baking soda helps to dry out the sore and reduce inflammation. Just mix a teaspoon of baking soda with a little water to form a paste and apply it directly to the cold sore several times a day.
Baking soda, it's amazing how many uses it has. I'm learning so much from this book.
Me too, and we're just scratching the surface, but I think we've covered a good range of remedies to give you a taste of what this book has to offer.
This has been an incredible deep dive. I feel like I've been given a whole new set of tools for taking care of my health naturally.
And remember, this is just a starting point. The book provides a wealth of information on natural healing, and we encourage you to explore it further and find the remedies that resonate with you.
Exactly. So for those of you listening, don't forget to check out the link in the description box to download your own copy of 500 time-tested home remedies and the science behind them. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive, please share it with your friends and family. We believe that everyone deserves to have access to this empowering information.
And as a final thought, I'd like to leave you with this question. What small step can you take today to incorporate natural healing into your own life? Maybe it's trying one of the remedies we discussed, or simply spending a few minutes connecting with nature. Every step you take towards greater well-being is a step in the right direction.
Beautifully said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, be well and happy. Healing Hold.